If you've ever tried to make your edits look more professional, you've probably run into the same problem. Everything that makes videos look high level takes time. Text animations, transitions, motion graphics, sound design, it all adds up fast. And most of the time, it's not even the creative ideas that slow you down. It's actually building the effects. Because in most editing workflows, every single detail has to be built manually. If you want a simple title animation, you keyframe it. If you want a transition, you build it. If you want motion graphics, you often have to switch software entirely. And even though the end result might look good, the process kills your speed. That's where Effects Flow comes in. Now, instead of thinking in terms of building effects, you start thinking in terms of applying them. It's a Premiere Pro plugin that gives you a full library of pre-built motion design elements you can drop directly into your timeline. And what makes that powerful is not just what it includes, but how it changes your workflow. Because you're not just getting one tool, you're getting an entire system of text animations, transitions, motion backgrounds, number counters, text hooks, and sound effects, all ready to use instantly. So instead of spending 10 to 20 minutes building one animation, you're applying it in seconds. Let's break that down. Take text animations, for example. Normally, if you want something like a cinematic title, you'd be setting keyframes for position, opacity, scale, timing, easing, and constantly tweaking until it feels right. That process alone can take longer than the entire clip you're editing. With Effects Flow, that entire process is replaced with one decision. You choose a style and apply it. And instantly your text has movement, timing, and polish built in. Now here's where it becomes more interesting, because it's not just about saving time, and it's about removing friction. When something takes less effort to use, you naturally start using it more. So instead of thinking, is this effect worth building? You start thinking, which version of this should I use? That changes how you edit. Now let's talk about transitions. In a normal workflow, transitions are one of the most time-consuming parts of editing. You have to match motion between clips, adjust timing, smooth easing, sometimes even fake motion blur. It's a lot of small adjustments that add up quickly. With Effects Flow, you skip that entire process. You drop a transition between two clips and it handles the movement automatically. And because it's pre-built, it's consistent every time, which actually makes your edits look more professional even if you're moving faster. Now, number counters are another underrated feature because they give you that After Effects style visual impact, but without building expressions or animations. So whether it's stats, follower counts, percentages, or progress indicators, you just place them in and they animate automatically. And this is where things start to stack. Because once you combine text, transitions, counters, and motion backgrounds together, even a simple clip starts to feel like a fully designed edit. Not just footage with effects, but a structured visual experience. Let me show you what that looks like in practice. You start with completely plain footage. Basic cuts, no motion, no styling. Then you layer in Effects Flow elements step by step. A title animation here, a transition between clips, a motion background to add depth, a counter for emphasis, a bit of sound design for impact. And suddenly, the same footage feels completely different. Not because the footage changed, but because the presentation did, and that's really the core idea here. Tools like this aren't about replacing editing skill. They're about removing the repetitive technical steps that slow you down. So instead of spending your time rebuilding effects you've already made 100 times before, you're just assembling ideas. And that changes how fast you can create. So if you're someone who wants to make better looking videos without getting stuck in technical editing work every time, this kind of plugin can completely change your workflow. The link is in the description if you want to check it out.